What is going on, everybody? Nasdorachi coming back at you again today with another video for Dragon Ball Legends. And we are going to be streamlining a whole lot of gameplay and equipment and team building theories all into one video for you here today to explain the best equipment, the best way to team build, that kind of strategy. I mean, it sounds kind of obscure, but we have multiple damage tests set up with multiple benches and multiple equipments, and I've consolidated all of that information into what hopefully will be a short little guide to explain the theory of how to best build and structure your teams based off of equipments and Z abilities. That is the aim for today. And a quick little side note, there's actually two of them. Thank you again to Slanak for providing all of the video tooltips that we are using today. He's the one conducting these tests. I report on them. You are extremely appreciated, my friend. And second, the Ultimate Dokkan and Legends Tag Team Podcast will be tonight on my channel here in like 2.5-ish hours. So if you guys happen to have any free time and want to jump in and see myself, Goresh, The Truth, Nolar, Talon, and Ryuden, and Bradical, and everybody else talking about Legends and Dokkan, I suggest you tune in for that. With all that out of the way, I'm going to pop up all of my visual reference information on the screen, so give me 1 second, I'll be right back. So I do believe that is everything, and don't worry, we're going to go over everything that you see on screen. But to give a rough breakdown of what you're looking at before we actually start kind of diving into the depths here, is we have a Fusions team on the defense with Super Saiyan Gogeta, the transforming one, being the unit of focus for the day. And we have an attacking androids team with a rotation of Super 13 fused into the blue 21 into purple Majin 21. All three of these battles are going to play out exactly the same, and that's why you'll see in the middle of the screen 35 combo with a damage window within about 100,000-ish. Goes actually up to 100, and it spreads, but it's about 130,000. In either direction. That's roughly. But with all these damage numbers, all this consistency, what we're trying to show off today is how your build and how your equipments are going to affect the performance of your gameplay, because it seems very subtle, but there are actually some very impactful things you can do. As you're seeing on the top of the screen here, at the end of this first combo example, the Gogeta only has 600,000 health left. Same combo in the second example, he's going to have 1 million health left. And the same exact combo for the third example, he's looking at 2 million health left. So that's 150% almost more health difference at the end of a single combo from one build to the other with just a few simple changes. You could probably see some of them on the screen on the assets that I've set up, these visual references. So what we're going to go over first is a build. This first video with this first combo is a build that has no Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks on the bench and just your standard equipments on your characters. Basically something that looks like this picture up here in the top, right up here. This is what we're looking at, where you'd have something with a lot of effective characters, good Z ability synergy, and offense. But there is, strangely for this player in this build, no HP buffing going on whatsoever. So really we're looking at, in this specific example, the value of Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. But a lot of teams will have a specific character that fills this role as well. So that's how we can condense this entire video down to a short time frame without having to cover every single build and every single equipment in the game. So you'll be able to apply this information, this team building logic, to, again, many other team builds besides the one we're specifically looking at today. But again, first video, no HP buffing Gotenks, and no equips that buff HP. You'll just have your general blast and strike attack equips, and strike and blast defense equips, along with maybe some super move damage buffs or ultimate arts damage buffs. But on this Gogeta, for this example, no HP buffing equipment, and no Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks on bench. So we can watch it play out in action here. We'll start it from the beginning, just to show that all three of these examples are 100% consistent. They're all going to start with that double swap in the beginning into the transformation, and then she's going to combo out with the 5 cards available. So you'll see the combo meter each time. Again, we'll hit the 35 count, and we'll check out the damage numbers done. So, and again, this is going to be consistent across all 3 videos. So 5th card, 5th strike card here, you're doing that amount of damage, 1.73 million. Let's stop it there. 1.739 million, and the Gogeta has a remainder of 594k health remaining. So let's pop over to the second example here. Now this example features the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks on the bench, but still no HP buffing equipment. They'll still just have the defense and offense equipped, super move damage, maybe Vanish Restore for the characters who might have access to it. I know LL Vegito doesn't, but regardless of that, no HP buffing equipment on the characters, but they will be featuring the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks on the bench. So we'll start this example over here just to see the consistency. We're going to swap in, do the same set of swaps we had before, and the same 5 combo with all red cards. So jumping into this over here, it's basically the same exact thing we're watching play out. Again, we're just watching this just to prove the consistency. Another huge shout out to Slanak for providing these video tooltips and putting the time in to actually do these very specific examples. So again, we can see at the very end of the combo, 35 hits and what was it, 1.63 million or 1.68 million. So within that 100,000 spread of 1.7k or million. So moving on to the third example now. This is the most important, and this is where the tooltips on the left side of the screen are going to come into play. So not only is this build featuring the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks that you see right above my head, who is a HP blanket buffer for fusions, but the Gogeta is also wearing these specific 3 pieces of equipment we've pulled up here. So you have the Broly movie No Way equipment, which with high rolls can feature up to 10% HP buff. At that point, you mingle that with the Android 17 This Should Be Fun equipment, which does buff blast attack, which DBS Gogeta does like, with another potential up to 10% or even higher. I do believe this one goes up to like 12.5 if you get a perfect roll on it. Percent health buff. So combining the two, you're at 20% or higher buffed health right there. And then there'll be a third piece of equipment, which even I don't have, which is this bronze piece of wait a minute equipment. You can get it from the main story in the game, but this is actually extremely solid for a piece of equipment, bronze or not, if you get all high rolls on it. So another 12.5, 10% to double defenses, which will be great. Gogeta's already pretty tanky as is. And then you'll have base health, another up to 7.5%. So that's like, you know, upwards of 30% boosted health to this character, in addition to the Gotenks, who has a Z ability based scaling percent modifier to health as well. Taking this stuff into consideration, if you build multiple characters this way to get the most out of their HP, and then rely more on the Z ability buffs to get your offensive and defensive buffs, not so much the equipment. Use the equipment to stack the stats that truly matter, like HP buffing, Vanish Gauge Restore, critical hit rate, critical hit damage, things like that outside of just standard offense and defense buffs, which again can be gotten from good synergy on your Z abilities. And these health buffs just, again, can make or break the experience and leave your Gogeta up for a lot more punishment than just a single combo, leaving him with 594k health left. You also have to take into consideration that when you are using characters in this fashion and the Gogeta has a starting health value of 3.8 million as opposed to, what, 2.3 million, this also affects any passives the characters will have that heal. So Gogeta, upon using his secondary main ability after transforming, does have a percent-based heal. As well, you'll have the Red Vegito having a built-in heal, as well as the Purple Legends Limited Vegito. All 3 of these characters feature built-in healing mechanics. So when you build additional HP on the team, when they engage those heals, 30% of 2.3 million is going to be a lot less than 30% of 3.8 million. So as the characters heal, those percentage-based heals are going to be giving you sizable amount more HP back in larger chunks, and then that'll again in turn lead to you being able to sustain in battle and combat, take more punishment, potentially make many more mistakes, and still survive with the potential of winning and not being just completely destroyed. So I felt like these were some very helpful tips. Again, they apply across multiple teams, so you don't just have, these 3 equips for just the Fusions teams and for just the DBS Gogeta. There will be plenty of other little builds that you can do, and adjustments like this you can make, like even quirky stuff like, the future Mai, the Sparking at 6 stars, she gives female warriors like 23 or more % HP to the team. You have the Majin 21 at 6 stars, buffing HP for regen and androids. You have multiple HP buffers for different teams, and multiple different pieces of equipment that you can pay attention to that'll increase your HP as well, giving your teams a lot more robust stats that, again, will keep you alive longer and potentially win you more matches. Again, huge shout out to Rusmir for providing these video tooltips. And we're not going to cover, I wanted to keep it short, so we're not covering every single piece of equipment like this, but you can use the in-game archive to look up specific pieces of equipment, try and find what'll work best for the specific build that you're trying to use, and then again, just be considerate and think about your Z ability buffs when building your teams to just maximize your ability to live longer as well as deal out as much punishment as possible. Again, I hope you all did enjoy the video. If you did, consider leaving a thumbs up on it. Help spread it out so more people can see it. If you're new around here, consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell. I'd love to see you again on future uploads. Do remember that the Legends and Dokkan Ultimate podcast will again be tonight in about 2 hours-ish of me recording this, and probably like 1 or less from the time of this uploading. And comment down below, what are your thoughts on different team buildings? Are you fully aware of all the information I provided today? Did you learn something new? Just let me know down below. Also, what are your thoughts on the upcoming Zenkai Cooler and the transforming Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks? Should be pretty interesting, but I think Cooler might have more value. And it's also important to think about what they didn't mention, because normally on banners like Legends Rising or Ultra Space Time, we get 2 new Sparkings. So they may be keeping something secret for us. We will, of course, keep you posted about all that information. Tune in for the podcast, and I hope to see you again very soon. Peace out. Have a great day.